Divorce is one of the biggest life transitions a person can face, and while emotions often run high, preparation is key to ensuring a smoother process and a more stable future. Before making any major decisions, it's important to take thoughtful steps to protect yourself financially, legally, and emotionally. In this guide, we'll walk through 5 essential things you should do before your separation or divorce, from taking stock of your finances to creating both a short term exit plan and a long term strategy for your future. By preparing now, you can approach this next chapter with confidence and control rather than uncertainty and regret. Step number 1: consult a family lawyer. Once you've made the decision to move forward with your divorce or separation, you need to consult with a family lawyer. If you can afford it, ideally, you should consult with at least 2 lawyers to make sure that you're getting the best legal advice. Many ordinary and well meaning people are very reluctant to taking this first step, often because they see it as adversarial and they believe that they and their partner can just work through the separation and or divorce together. These same people will typically say to their friends and family things like, "We'll just work it out," or "They're not like that. I trust them." What these well-meaning people often overlook is that the dynamic of the relationship that enables them to work through things with their partner will deteriorate, and sometimes quickly, once the relationship is brought to an end. Ideally, once you've selected the right lawyer, you will get them on retainer. So, how do we find the best lawyer? Well, that's a topic for a whole other video. Ideally, you will consult with at least 2 lawyers before deciding on the one who is most competent and able to take your case. There is a natural reluctance for many people in contacting a lawyer because it feels adversarial. If this is you, please try and take the approach of hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. It is good to hope that things will work themselves out naturally, because in the relationship, you are always able to get through conflicts together. This is because when you're in the relationship, you are both invested in making things work and finding a path forward that you can share together. Yes, there are many divorcing and separating couples where things go smoothly. However, you are moving in the direction of getting out of the relationship, and during the separation or divorce, you won't have that same level of trust between you that you once shared, simply because the relationship is in the process of ending. This often leads to difficulties in resolving conflicts that arise during the divorce or separation, and in those cases, you will want to be prepared instead of scrambling for advice at the last minute. Having a lawyer on your side is like being armed with a weapon. You don't need to use it, but before entering the arena of divorce and separation, you should have one and understand how to use them as best you can. Just like many weapons, there are dangers in using a lawyer. Having one on your side is like having a double-edged sword. If you're not careful in the way you use them, they can end up hurting you as well. What I mean by this is that you need to understand that there is a built-in financial conflict of interest with your family lawyer. They are your best source of knowledge and information by a wide margin, simply because family law is their trade. The source of the conflict of interest is that they will be paid more the longer that the issues in dispute go unresolved. Certainly, your lawyer will want you to, quote, win your case, however they are rewarded financially, the longer the case drags on. We will talk in other videos of how best to use your lawyer, depending on the circumstances and stage of the divorce that you are in. But for now, you should get legal advice from a lawyer and decide from there. Step number 2, get educated on the process. Have you ever taken a trip somewhere and not taken directions or used a navigation tool to get you there? It would be very difficult if you were in Chicago and needed to drive to San Francisco and all you knew was to drive west. Well, separation and divorce are no different. You are trying to go from one life situation into another. And although you may have an idea of what the future will look like, without understanding the process of separation and divorce, you only have a general notion of what direction you should take. The process of separation and divorce is usually very well defined, just like a set of directions. So, it's important that you educate yourself on the separation and divorce process in your region. Otherwise, you're stepping onto a road half blind with only a compass in your hand and no map. Education should start with the lawyer or lawyers that you are consulting with. But education can also come from all kinds of other sources. Another place to look is in your own personal network. If you tell people that you trust about the breakdown of your marriage and relationship, you are sure to find many people will share their own stories with you. Some of these stories will be bad, others good or neutral. This will give you a better understanding overall of what to expect and what things could go well or go poorly on your journey through this difficult phase. Law firms themselves will often have a lot of useful content and resources on their websites in the form of blogs, guides, and sometimes videos, such as this one. Also, law firms will often have important links to the laws and guidelines in your country and region. You can also find helpful information on your regional and federal government's websites, although these are often harder to navigate. Another source of information would be the personal stories that you will find online. They can give you some insight into the worst case scenarios and help you mitigate these with support of your personal network. Always remember that your support system should include your family lawyer once you have selected a good one. Step number 3, take an inventory of your finances, just like your separation or divorce. Imagine you are about to embark on a life-changing journey. You don't know exactly what the road ahead will look like, but one thing is certain, you are going somewhere new and you need to be prepared. Now, picture yourself standing in front of your suitcase. If you've been traveling with a partner for years, chances are you've shared the packing responsibilities. Maybe they handled the itinerary while you focused on making sure you had the essentials. Or maybe you packed things together, but never really thought about who owned what. This time, you are heading off on your own. Before you can confidently take the next step, you need to open that suitcase and take a full inventory of what's inside. What do you have? What's missing? Are you carrying things you no longer need? Or are there valuables tucked away that you forgot about? If learning about the separation and divorce process is like learning about the journey ahead, then understanding your finances is like understanding what you have with you to help you on that journey. Not knowing your financial situation before a divorce is like stepping onto a plane without checking your passport, your bank account, the hotel you'll be staying at, or even where you're headed. If you don't take stock of what you own, what you owe, and how money moves in and out of your life, you risk finding yourself lost, underprepared, or weighed down by unnecessary baggage. Taking a financial inventory is not just about protecting yourself, it's about empowerment. It ensures that when you step into this next chapter, you do so with confidence, clarity, and everything you need for the journey ahead. Step number 4, make an exit plan. Imagine you're on a ship that's taking on water. You've known for a while that the journey isn't going the way you'd hoped, and now it's clear that you need to get off. But before you step away from the life you've known, you have to make sure you have a lifeboat ready so that you don't end up stranded at sea. First, you would gather supplies, making sure that you have the essentials, such as food, water, and the tools to navigate. Financially, this means securing access to money, opening a personal bank account if needed, and gathering records of all shared finances, assets, and debts. Next, you must chart your course. Where will you go once you step off the ship? Do you have a safe place to stay? Whether it's with family, a friend, or temporary housing, do you need to start looking for a new place to live? Or can you reliably decide to stay in the home while your partner leaves? You will need to secure this short-term living arrangement before moving forward. Lastly, send out a signal. You wouldn't set off into open water without letting someone know where you're headed. The same goes for separation and divorce. Having a trusted friend, family member, or professional support system in place can help guide you through rough waters. Leaving a marriage or live-in relationship is a big transition, but if you build your lifeboat before you step off the ship, you'll set sail toward a new future with confidence and security rather than just drifting into the unknown. This is what your short-term exit plan will be for you. Step number 5, make a long-term plan. While a short-term exit plan helps you navigate the immediate transition, a long-term plan ensures you can build a stable and fulfilling future after divorce. This step requires careful thinking about your financial independence, living arrangements, career path, and overall well-being. Develop a post-divorce budget, understand how assets and debts will be divided, and consider long-term financial planning, such as retirement, savings, and investments. If needed, consult a financial advisor. Plan where you will live permanently and what adjustments you may need to make to maintain a sustainable lifestyle within your means. If you've been financially dependent on your spouse, consider career development, job training, or education to ensure long-term security. If you have children, create an outline of the parenting plan that you want, one that prioritizes the children's well-being and creates a stable environment for them. Divorce is not just a legal process, it's a life transition. Consider therapy, support groups, or personal goals that will help you build confidence and create a new, fulfilling chapter of life. By taking the time to plan for the future, you'll move forward with clarity, confidence, and control over your next chapter.